Hello, I'm Ralph Sevenor. Welcome to the Builders of the Alarm Industry. Today is August 7th, 2003. Special thanks to the Honeywell Security Group and Ron Rothman, president of Ademco, that has graciously provided their time, studio, and support in this project. This is a cooperative effort on behalf of NBFAA, National Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, SIA, Security Industry Association, and CSAA, Central Station Alarm Association, through the AIR Foundation. I'm delighted to introduce my partner in this project, Charlie Darsh. Charlie, please ask the first
Thanks,
question.
Ralph. Ivan, you've had a very long and distinguished career. How did you get into the industry?
Well, it's very kind of a strange story. I was a CPA and was hired by a gentleman by the name of Herman Pearl, who was the founder and chairman of Dictograph Security Systems. And actually, the first job he gave me had absolutely nothing to do with security. And it was a different division of the company. And one day I happened to be walking down a hall and I hear this very loud voice and noises coming out of a room, and I open up the door and there were all these salespeople jumping up and down saying, "I'm the greatest salesperson in the world." And I just got mesmerized by what was going on in the room. And that was my initiation into the alarm industry. From that point on, I became sort of his right-hand man and learned the alarm industry from the bottom up.
So you worked directly for Herman Pearl?
Yes, I was the number 2 man at Dictograph for many years until Herman died in 1976, when I became the CEO of Dictograph for a number of years.
What changes have you seen in the industry, both positive and negative?
We've all seen a lot of changes. Obviously, the negative changes that I saw happen in the industry were, I think, a lot of companies coming into our industry in the late 80s and 90s who, in my opinion, were not really alarm operators, but rather financial operators. And I think they changed the face of the industry in, I think, a somewhat negative way in assessing what the values are of the services that we had to perform. On a positive basis, I think that the industry has come around to understanding that what we are life safety alarm operators, and not just companies looking to turn over dollars and to build only recurring revenue. And I hope that that feeling continues over the next few years.
Let me know any really great memory in your career that had a positive effect as well as an impact on you.
In 1964, I was in my office when the phone rang, and our secretary told me there's a gentleman in the building who would like to see me. I said, "Oh, well, who is he?" He says, "Well, his name's Leo Goodhart." And I said, "Leo Goodhart, who's he?" And he said, "Well, he's here from some manufacturing company you buy from." I said, "Well, send him up." And Leo came up to see me. That was I guess first time we met. And I think that for me was a time of big change, because I began to see the industry after working with Leo for a while, of not just our company, which I thought in those days, and I think a lot of people will agree, that Dictograph was a leader in the residential security alarm sales. But in working with Leo, things changed dramatically as we saw the world open up to us of what the industry really was all about and how we could expand our business. So he had I think a very important part, played a very important part in where we went with Dictograph Security Systems.
Where do you see the industry in perhaps 2, 5, or 10 years?
You know, the industry, in the 40 years I've been in it, I have seen so many changes. It's like a repeated bell curve of what happens in our industry. The good things that have happened, I think, are the fact that a lot of the companies, and I hope a lot of the companies continue this, are starting to see what I've always firmly believed in, and that is looking at the life safety aspect of our business. Not just looking for coverage per se, but rather looking to understand that what we really are about is saving lives. And I don't care if that's residential, I don't care if it's commercial, it applies everywhere in our industry. And too often along the lines in the last, I think, 15 years, guys have forgotten that. Even those guys who have been in the industry for a long time got caught up in the 90s, got caught up in the RMR drive, got caught up in the zero down, and even they, who I believed were very important to the building of the industry, even they started to forget. And I know I almost did once when I owned my own company in New Jersey, and I almost forgot. But I've quickly came around to understanding that if this industry is going to last, it's going to last, I believe, because of commitment by the entrepreneurial part of our business. And I think that's what drives the best of what we are.
How do you believe consumers view our products and services, and how has it changed?
Oh, I think it definitely has changed. And I think the consumer, unfortunately, I think the consumer lost track of our product again in the late 80s and 90s. I think all the consumers saw was, this is what we're going to give you for nothing. And I don't believe that value was there. I think that's changed dramatically. I could tell you this, I am now again back in the alarm industry as somewhat of an operator, not on an everyday basis, but my son is running a company, and what we are clearly seeing is the consumer looking at value added, and I could speak volumes about just even on the commercial side. If you visit retailers, they have a real concern for the safety of their people, and a real concern for running their business more efficiently. And that, with the great technology that we have today, that is now available. And I think the consumer clearly is seeing that. And it's our responsibility to make sure that happens and to communicate that to the consumer. And if we do that, I believe these will all be positive changes for the industry, and it'll bode well over the next 5-10 years.
If there was one thought relative to propelling your success over the past 40 years, what would you tell someone? What would you tell them now to push them along?
Okay, well, everybody that knows me knows what I'm going to say. I'm going to say what has propelled me is my real sincere dedication and belief in life safety. And that when in fact you accept the responsibility of being in the alarm industry and visiting consumers head to head, you have to accept the responsibility that you have to share with them life safety information, things that you know that they don't know. Because if you ask the average consumer if they've got a fire escape plan in their home, 99 out of 100 people tell you no, they don't. Well, we know it, we have it, and for us not to share that, to me, is a total lack of responsibility. So if I think of anything that's driven me over the years, I'd have to say that it's my belief in life safety and my belief that these things have to be shared.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for sharing your ideas. It's certainly going to help future generations out there to move forward. And any final thoughts?
Well, I just can say that it was a pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to answer these questions and even to be thought of as somebody who should be asked these questions.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity.
You deserve doing that.
So thank you very much.
And hopefully we can keep you in the industry many more years.
Well, I hope so too.
Thanks.
Thank you.